They're cute, they're fluffy, and they're one of Australia's most recognisable icons. But unfortunately, koalas are facing many threats, like habitat loss, predation, road accidents and disease. Thankfully, there are a lot of people out there doing what they can to help the survival of these special native Australians. People like Cara.
Koalas are an iconic species in Australia. They're adorable, as you know, and they're also in trouble. So they live across a huge range of the continent, from the south all the way up the east coast. But their populations are very different in those areas. In the south, they're actually eating themselves out of house and home, eating all the leaves out of the trees. And in the north, their populations have declined by over 60% in the last 10 years.
So because the koalas are so widespread over Australia, where do you even begin to try and manage their landscape?
That's a really good question. We have to look at different things because their populations are different. But one of the things that's the same is that koalas everywhere are eating eucalypt leaves, and the quality of those eucalypt leaves is likely to be different in different places. So in those areas that have the most nutritious leaves and the leaves that make the least amount of toxins to protect themselves, we think that there will be more koalas there than places that have less yummy leaves.
So basically, habitat quality is a must. And even though a landscape might look healthy to you and me, with a good variety of plant species giving a dense cover, the actual quality of the foliage for leaf-eating animals is measured by something a little more complicated. So since we're not leaf eaters, how do you work out the quality from an animal's perspective of what's out there in the forest on the menu?
Sure, we look at nutrients, and we also look at toxins that the plants make. And we have two ways that we do that. One's the old-fashioned way that involves walking through a forest and collecting leaves from the trees, taking them back to the lab and doing the chemistry on them.
Who says research can't be fun? Cara and her team create a slingshot to capture and bring down a branch of leaves. It requires a sharp eye and steady hands. But Cara has had plenty of practice and makes it look way too easy.
And there's a new way that we're trying with the help of the federal government that involves flying an airplane over the forest, and it has a spectrometer on it, and that spectrometer measures the light that's reflecting off the canopy from the sun, and we use that light to tell us about the chemistry of the leaves in the forest.
So once you've found these answers, how are you using them to finally help the koalas?
Sure, well, ideally, what we want to be able to do is look at a landscape and compare it to another and say, are these two places equal, or is one better than another in terms of how much a koala might like to live there? And we can't save everywhere, unfortunately, so we want to make sure that those places that we are protecting have the best chance of being a good home for koalas, and this is one way we hope will help us do that.